Football and archery come together in this throwing game we call Robin Hood. Use cones to create your target, starting with a large outer square, a smaller square inside it, and an even smaller square in the center. That's your bullseye. Then use 2 cones to create a throwing gate about 10 yards away and line players up at the gate. Here's how it looks. One at a time, players step up to the throwing line with a ball and throw, trying to land it in the target. Players get 1 point for balls that land in the largest zone, 5 points for the middle, and 10 for a bullseye. Score throws based on where the ball first bounces. And if it hits a cone, give them the point for that square.
Oh, right on the cone!
Give each player 3 to 5 turns to throw the ball. The player with the most points wins the round. Play a few rounds so each player can try to beat their own score. Because of the distance, players tend to put too much force behind their throws. Encourage them to let go of the ball earlier in their arm motion for a high arcing pass. That gives them the best shot at landing a bullseye.
3-pointer, good job.
Players work on their X's and O's in this game that promotes field awareness and decision-making. We're playing Tic Tac Toe. Using 16 cones, make a Tic Tac Toe grid that's 5 yards long by 5 yards wide. Place 2 more cones along a starting line about 10 yards away from the Tic Tac Toe board. Divide the group into 2 teams and line each one up at the starting line. Assign each team a color and give each player a penny or cone in that color to use as markers. Here's how it looks.
Set, go! Go, go, go!
On your call, the first player in each line runs to the grid, places their marker in a square, then runs back and tags the next person in line. The relay continues until one team places 3 of its markers in a row, or the game ends in a tie.
Good, you won, you won, you won!
Football is all about quick decision-making. In tic-tac-toe, players adjust their strategy based on the state of the board. Just like the offense is constantly reading the defense to find gaps on the field. Make it snap. Players practice their shotgun snap in this high-speed game we call Center Snap Relay. Set up 2 parallel rows of 8 cones each, placed 5 yards apart. Divide players into 2 teams, then line them up with 1 player at each cone, all facing you. The 2 players at the first cone get a ball.
All right, here we go.
Here's how it looks.
Ready, set, hike.
On your call, the first player in line reaches forward and snaps the ball to the player behind them. This continues until the last player receives a snap. Then they race back to the front of the line, stopping at the empty cone in front of player 1. The relay repeats until one of them reaches the final cone.
It's close. We have a close one. Run, 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 run. Sprint, sprint. Great job.
This game is all about learning how to snap and receive the ball effectively.
Yeah, so remember, when we start the snap, we're going to make sure it's on the floor, right?
Every legal snap starts with the ball on the ground, placed slightly in front of the center's head. They then move the ball back through their legs, holding onto it until it passes their calves before tossing it back to the person behind them. Remind snappers to hold their follow-through and not stand up too soon. If they want to see what's going on behind them, they'll have to look through their legs. Both one-handed and two-handed snaps are allowed, so ask players to go with what's more comfortable for them.
Hey, good job, good job. Good job.
Players master the key to every successful running play in this game we call the handoff. Divide players into pairs and place each pair at a cone, spaced a few yards apart. Give every pair a ball. Here's how it looks. In each pair, designate a quarterback and a running back.
Go! Caught the ball. Good. And then run, 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 run.
On your call, the running back sprints to the left or right of the QB, ready to receive the ball with proper form.
Really nice job.
Elbow closest to the quarterback up, their other arm below and parallel to it, forming a window. The quarterback turns to complete the handoff, putting the ball squarely into the running back's belly and peeling off as the running back sprints forward with the ball. Run this sequence multiple times, rotating so every player gets turns at both positions.
Excellent.
Remind the quarterback to give the ball to the running back, rather than the back taking it from them, and reinforce proper form. Players may struggle to keep their near elbow up, so it can be helpful to demonstrate why this technique works. If the elbow is down, their arm can get in the way and cause a faulty exchange. If the elbow's up, smooth sailing. Players work on their reaction time and catching in this game we call Trust Catch. Place 2 cones on the ground, creating a gate for receivers to stand in, and line up all your players next to the gate. You're the quarterback, and you stand about 10 yards in front of the gate with a ball. Here's how it looks. 1 receiver at a time stands in the gate with their back to the QB and their hands by their sides. When you call hike, you throw the ball and the receiver turns at the exact same time, prepared to catch the ball as soon as they turn.
Hike.
The receiver may be timid at first and want to jump with their hands in the ready position.
It's coming. It's going to be coming.
This is okay, but as they get more comfortable, they should work on bringing their hands up later.
Down.
Encourage them to find the ball with their eyes first and to trust their hands to react to the ball.
There you go.
Players will flip for this timed game that develops teamwork skills. We call it Volcanoes and Ice Cream Cones. Use 4 cones to create a square space. Scatter at least 15 more cones throughout the space. Place half of them right side up, like volcanoes, and half of them upside down, like ice cream cones. Divide players into 2 groups.
Because volcanoes have lava, we're gonna say red, you guys are volcanoes. Blue, you're gonna be our ice cream cones. We'll think a little blue raspberry.
Here's how it looks. On your call, players must turn over as many cones as they can in their team shape. That means Team Volcanoes is flipping right side up, and Team Ice Cream Cones is flipping upside down. Play short rounds, about 1 minute long. When time is up, count up how many cones are placed in either direction. Whichever team has more cones in their shape wins.
Volcanoes won! Awesome! Let's see it. Oh, yeah, nice.
Players might try to block their opponents from flipping cones or protect cones once they've been flipped. This is clever defensive strategy, but it's not allowed here. Encourage teammates to communicate with one another about where they're moving, where they see more cones to be flipped, and how to get there fast.
We won volcanoes! Yeah! Awesome!
Players develop their interception skills, speed, and agility in this game we call Open Wheel Shuffle.
Come back.
Use 4 cones to create a rectangular space. You, the quarterback, stand facing the space. 1 player at a time stands facing you a few yards inside the space. Here's how it looks. On your call, the player backpedals 5 to 7 steps while keeping their eyes on you. On your cue, left or right, they then shuffle 3 to 5 steps towards that side of the rectangle. Then open their hips to sprint and receive a throw from you at the corner of the space. Give each player multiple turns, sending throws to both corners so they can practice making catches to both the left and right. This move sets defenders up for a pick 6, to intercept the ball, return it, and score. But first they have to master the basics. Transitioning from backpedal to shuffle to turn can send even the most coordinated player off balance. So encourage them to focus on body control over speed until they get the hang of it.
Back. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Open. Open up. Perfect.
Players learn to throw the right way by practicing the wrong way. In this game we call the wrong foot. Divide players into pairs, spaced 5 yards apart. Give every pair a ball. Here's how it looks. On your call, players throw the ball back and forth, but with one very important limitation. They must throw with their wrong foot forward. That means right-handers lead with their right foot, and left-handers lead with their left. This will feel unnatural, and some players may find themselves shot-putting the ball, pushing it from their neck. Encourage them to use their full arm movement and follow through as usual. It may be more awkward, but it's still possible.
Stay stationary. Don't bring that foot forward. It's going to feel awkward.
After several rounds with their wrong foot, have players switch to their right foot, or their left if they're lefties, so they can see how much easier it is to throw correctly, and put their best foot forward.
Players use bursts of speed to avoid defenders in this fun twist on Red Rover. We call it Bull Rush. Use 4 cones to make a square space. Send 1 defender to the center of the square. Assign every other player a number and line them up along one side of the square. Here's how it looks.
Let's go 4.
When you call a number, the corresponding player tries to cross safely to the other side of the rectangle. If the defender tags them, the runner joins them in the center.
You're going to be in the middle.
Then call out another number,
2.
and that player tries to cross, this time avoiding 2 defenders.
All right, good job.
Continue calling numbers until all the players have crossed or had their flags pulled.
6. Go, run, run, run. All right.
Play until everyone's been tagged, then pick a new defender to start in the middle of the next round. Defenders don't let up, and neither should your players, so encourage them to run all the way through the end line and not just up to it. Fancy moves like spins, jukes, and shifts may look cool, but they'll slow players down and increase their odds of getting tagged.
6.
Instead, encourage them to grab the bull by the horns and rush.
Oh, nice move. Woo, good job.
Players try to intercept the ball in this football take on a schoolyard classic. We're playing Keep Away. Divide players into groups of 3 with 2 passers and 1 defender. Use cones to mark throwing spots for the passers about 10 yards apart. The defender stands between them. Here's how it looks. On your call, the passers start throwing the ball back and forth over the defender, while the defender tries to deflect or intercept the ball. If the defender succeeds, they swap roles with that passer and the game continues. Play short rounds, about a minute each. Between rounds, switch up the groupings and start again. The defender should try to gain any advantage they can. Jumping and tipping the ball can deflect the pass so they can intercept. This game also helps players learn to pass under pressure. Beginners may just throw the ball up in the air to keep it out of the defender's hands. That won't work here. They need to find their target and pass quickly, or they'll end up in the middle.